Hi, you're welcome to Success Tips. In this video today, we will be discussing about distractions, where we will discuss about different forms of distractions and their impact on your goals and objectives in life. And then towards the end of the video, we will be discussing about the strategies that you can deploy in order to avoid getting distracted from your dreams. Distractions can weigh down the most talented person. Okay, so when you keep a talented person but then distracted, and then a person that doesn't have any talent but yet not distracted, then there's a very high tendency that the talented person is going to lose out for that person that is not talented but yet not distracted. A slow and steady undistracted runner can always win, against anybody that is a fast runner but then distracted. Distraction can be as bad as that. What does distraction mean? Distraction simply refers to anything that can take away your attention, your time, your resources from focusing on your primary objectives in life. While you may not be able to avoid 100% of distractions in your own life, but there are some certain distractions that you should never at all costs allow them to come close to your own life. At this point, we will begin by looking at the different forms of distractions and then how they affect an individual, and then how they distract people from achieving their goals in life. We can have thousands and millions of distraction sources and forms, okay, but then we are going to be looking at the major prevalent ones. There are 6 major forms of distractions that we will be looking at in this video, okay, and the first one is lack of result. There will always be a time where your result will not show up, especially at the beginning of your own, actions, at the beginning of the implementation of your own strategies, at the beginning of the pursuit of your own dream, and such that it can become a very serious concern that if you are not careful, then it is going to distract you away from doing the actions and things that you need to be doing that can bring that result. I have seen people sit down and keep worrying about, result that is not showing up, instead of them to use that time to work on the things that can bring the result closer to them. This form of distraction is more common, in freshers and new startups. What this form of distraction does to an individual is that an individual may just be starting up or may just be implementing a new strategy, and then while that person is working on that strategy, and then he will sit down and yet no result is showing up. He will keep on trying and sit down and wait, there's no result. That person will try again, yet there's no result, and then before you know it, that person will now sit down and then spend a lot of time worrying about the result that is not coming up, and that is a major distraction. The next major form of distraction that affects a lot of people is lack of resources. People are so much focused on the bigger picture of their dreams that they forget to focus on the little steps and actions that they can be able to take at their own disposal at a given point in time. Most people who are being affected by this form of distraction easily forget that starting small in life is inevitable as long as you want to go big. You will see an individual sit and continue saying that the money that their business need in order to kickstart is $50,000, and then they keep on saying that to the extent that they forget to even sit down and use that $500 in their own possession in bringing them closer to that business startup. Lack of resources have distracted a lot of people from doing what they can be able to do with the little resources that they have, to an extent that they bury that dream before it even starts germinating. A career that you can be able to start even with the little resources you have, but because you are thinking of the bigger resource that you don't have, which will be needed at the later times of the business, that is how you get distracted, because you continuously think about the resources you don't have, and then you forget to focus on what you can be able to do at the present time. That is also another major form of distraction that have chopped up a lot of people. The third form of distractions that have distracted a lot of people is other people's success. Many a times people get distracted when they see that other people's effort is yielding out result, while their own is still struggling. I have seen someone that wanted to build, a restaurant, but then all of a sudden changed his mind and then started building a supermarket, and that happened simply because he knew someone that succeeded in the supermarket business. Now let me tell you this, the path you choose in life does not matter if you can add competence and consistency to any path that you choose. Believe you me, you will watch yourself fly to an extent that you have never have imagined in your entire life. One of the mindset that such people being affected by this form of distraction has is that they think when someone start manifesting result and theirs is yet to begin, to pump out the result, what comes to their mind is that, okay, I think all that I've been doing, I think is not going to yield any result. So I think that person's, direction, or that person's path, that person's field is what can be able to yield result, okay? And with that, they get distracted from, doing what they had initially in mind, at the time they started pursuing their own goals and dreams. Okay, so it's very important for you to understand that this form of distraction is also one of the major form of distractions that have killed a lot of dreams. And I will want you to keep on sticking to this video, and then towards the end of this video I will give you the best strategy you can be able to put in place in order to avoid getting distracted by any of these major forms of distractions that we will be discussing in this video. The next form of distractions that have disturbed a lot of people is leisure. This very distraction form, have distracted a lot of students from achieving their academic targets. Okay, students are always fond of going for movies, movie nights, social gatherings, social night, to an extent that the time they set for their own personal studies, they get distracted from obeying that timing, and then they end up not even reading for most of the days. A student may read for just 30 minutes in a day and then spend the rest of the time watching movies. This does not only happen to students, but even people that are working on their dreams, their career, their objectives in life get distracted by this form of distraction. Leisure and entertainment is a form of distraction that affects almost everyone. You may want to argue this until you go up on Facebook to go and post your video for the day, and then you plan, let's say, 30 minutes to be able to finish up with everything, and then as you go up, you will now see, pop, another video will come up that is very interesting, and before you know it, you are 4 hours on Facebook, and then that is when you will get to understand that entertainment and leisure is one of the major form of distraction that easily affects everyone. If you do not control your desire for leisure, then there is a limit, there is a very closer limit to which you can be able to go in this life, and you can hardly achieve your dreams. The next form of distraction is peer group. The feeling of wanting to go to the football pitch with your friends is one of the most irresistible urge. You may be having an important task that you will need to carry out for that day, but then going out with the girls is something you will not want to miss. Now you can see how peer group distracts a lot of people. You may be saving up money to pay for your music classes to help you achieve your music dreams, but then you discover that all your friends are now buying phones, and then before you know it, you just break that savings and then begin to buy phone with it. That is how heavy your peer group can be on you when it comes to distractions. Distractions can come in many forms when it comes to your peer group, but it takes diligence for you to be able to spot it and then start working against it. Now, the last form of distraction that we will be discussing on this video is mental instability. Now, this is an intrinsic force that pushes you away from staying long enough on doing a particular task before it begins to yield out results. You may be working on your project, and then a silent voice whispers from within you and then telling you, you have been long enough on this project, please get off and then go and rest, go and have some movies, go and hang out with the friends, go and enjoy yourself, or you need to switch to this particular task, forget about this project. Or maybe you have a task that you will need to go and carry out in the north, and then while you are heading to the north, something will just come up in your mind telling you, I think you need to go to the south. That is where you need to go. And when you are heading to the south, another voice will now come up again, I think you need to go to the east. It can be as bad as that. And that is how you keep switching from one task to another, switching from one target to another, switching from one thing to the other without achieving anything for a very long period of time. And that is how your desired dream will just die off, and then you get old, and that is how you lose everything. Mental instability is one of the distractions that is very difficult to deal with, but then if you make use of the strategy that I'm going to be giving on this video, then believe you me, you are going to get off it once and for all. Now this takes us to the last part of this video. How can one be able to avoid distractions? What are then the strategies that one can be able to put in place in order to avoid being distracted from his dreams or from his objectives, from his goals in life? There are only two major things that if you can put these things in place and then master them and then walk by them, believe you me, there's no any distractions too big that can be able to come and take away your attention, time and resources from what you need to be doing as far as achieving your dreams is concerned. The first thing you need to do is to draft out a schedule, a timetable, a planned task, whatever name you may want to call it. You should sit down and then draft that out for yourself. I believe before you begin to talk about distractions, you must have known what your target is in life. You must have known what your desired dream is in life, You must have known what the bigger picture of what you are pursuing in life is. And at the same time, you must have known the kind of actions that you need to be taking that can take you to that desired dreams of yours. For you to avoid getting distracted from taking those actions that can take you to those dreams, you need to list down all those things that you need to be doing, okay? You need to list down the actions when do you need to carry those actions, you need to pen them down. You then can create a schedule out of them, by pinning them down to specific times of the day, okay? We all have 7 days a week and then 24 hours a day. Your timetable and your routine plan should be able to tell you what you need to do at what time. You should avoid having a random day at all costs, okay? One of the major reasons why distraction find its way into your own life is because you don't have a set plan and target, pinning them down to a specific time of your day and then at the specific day of the week. That is one of the major reasons why so many people are distracted. This is one of the strategies that I've used, to fight distractions in my life, okay? And then that have, improved my productivity, by more than 60%. And quite a number of people that I mentor have tried this particular strategy and they are doing very great, and then they are hitting their target, as supposed. One of the things your timetable does to you that helps you to avoid distractions is that when you see your friends, coming up and then going to the football pitch, the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, let me check my timetable, okay? What time do I have what, okay? And then what do I have at what time of the day, okay? And if it happens to be that very time that your friends are heading to the pitch, you have a particular task that you need to carry out, then it will be very easy for you to caution yourself and then hold back that urge of wanting to go out with the friends, and then you will stay back and do that task. But if your day is just random and you don't have a specific task pinned down to a specific time, then it will be very easy for you to just say, okay, I think if I come back, then I can do whatever I want to do. And then that is how you will keep on postponing a lot of things that you could have done, okay? And then before you know it, something that you could have achieved in 1 week will now end up taking 5 months of your time. Now, after setting your timetable, designing your routine, then the second thing you need to do is to discipline yourself to have an obedience to that very set plan of yours. Learn to train your mind to stick to your schedules, and you should try at all costs to avoid skipping your own schedules. There are many things you can put in place in order to help you in disciplining yourself to be able to stick to your own schedules. You can set your alarm in your phone, you can set your reminders. You may be feeling like, oh no, I've forgotten about this again. This is the first time I'm implementing something like this in my life. Oh, I keep on forgetting the timings for my own task. Oh, maybe let's say I set a particular task for 1 p.m. of the day, and then before I know it is 3 p.m. and I've forgotten, okay? Don't worry, okay? There are times when you will forget, especially when you are doing things for the first time, okay? But all your aim should be that you should keep on improving on your effort, keep on improving on your discipline, keep on improving on the plans and things that you can be able to put in place to keep reminding you of doing your own task, okay? Let it be that if you have forgotten 2 tasks yesterday, then try by all means not to forget up to 2 tasks today, and then by so doing, you will end up, being able to achieve all your daily tasks without forgetting any with time. One thing you should always have at the back of your mind is that greatness lies in your own commitment, okay? Your own greatness lies in your own patience to stick to doing one thing over and over again for a given period of time until you gain to a mastery level. And with personal discipline, you will attain any form of mastery that you will ever desire in order to yield off big results for you. Believe you me, if you make use of these 2 major strategies, there is no distraction that can ever come close to your own life and then win you. As I round up this video, let me give you one assignment, okay? I will want you to start working on your timetable today, okay? At this very moment, sit down, carry your pen and paper. You should write down all the steps that you need to be taking that can take you closer to your own dreams, and then set a specific time of the day and then the specific day of the week which you are going to be carrying out each of the tasks, and watch yourself rise to greatness. I believe you have found a lot of value in this video. If this was your first time on this YouTube channel, I will want you to click on the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell. And if you are a returning viewer, I would love to say thank you. I will do a favor from all of you. Please share this video with just one person. Thank you, and see you guys in another video. Bye.